Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the Prestige Cup car, the AMG S63 Coupe. I am part of the way done with Prestige Cup, but starting from this point on, which is about race 18, things start to get a little more difficult. So I'm going to actually run through the remaining part of this Prestige Cup for you and kind of show you what you're facing with the final challenges, but also discuss what challenges you may have depending on which parts you have and which parts you're missing. So what you need to know basically is that for this particular Prestige Cup, the main thing is that the AMG Coupe has some really strong stage 6s like body and then a bunch of really weak ones. For example, NOS is basically useless, and then intake and turbo is extremely weak. So all three of those combined, you may still struggle versus the situation I have, which is I have full fusion with just body, and I'm basically breathing through this thing without any trouble up to this point. That is because body essentially drops you from a car that is dynoing 9.5 running 9.4s to basically dynoing about 9.1 and running 9 flat to possibly even 8 point something if your device is really good and can kind of kick it into third gear super fast. The shift pattern I'm using is basically NOS is nitrous is all the way to the left, okay, and then you have a 2.44 final drive, 53.47 on the tire, and I'm just jumping straight to third in nitrous and then all perfect shifts from there. So basically like this, third in nitrous, and off we go, and basically really deep good or perfect shifts, and that should get you some of your best runs without much of an issue. And that should get you easily through the first 20 plus races. It should get us to race 28 without any issue. Now, if you don't have body, let's say you don't have any other stage 6, stage 5 only being a 9.4 will still get you, most likely get you right to race 28 where you pick up that stage 6. But that's where luck of the draw comes in. If you get intake, turbo, or nitrous, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go pull keys. There's no way around it. If you do get the right one in its body and you have the fusions, well, lucky you, it's now going to be easy to finish the event. So that's basically how this PC Cup breaks down. This is true of any Prestige Cup. Basically, the right stage 6s make it a breeze, and the wrong ones make it a frustrating experience at best. Okay, so moving into the range 20s, this is when things start to escalate. After race 20, you'll start to see the times of the opponents start to actually drop on a regular basis. Ooh, I couldn't get the third instantly because I hit the wrong button. But anyway, it shouldn't hurt me here, but near the very end, that may be an issue. Because shift pattern actually is very critical to using a car to win in both live and also in these cups. If you're cutting it close, the right shift pattern can make or break the actual run. So definitely don't ignore the need to have the right shift pattern. If you're always doing perfect launch and then always going to perfect shift second in nitrous, you may be doing yourself a disservice by not having the right amount of shifts. Well, that was not good either, but not doing the shifts in the right way to get the most out of the car, and that ultimately could make or break your car's ability to get through certain events. This is especially true of Evo Cups, paid events, where right near the end there's some super tough challenges. You want to learn the shift pattern. Now, how do you find out? Generally speaking, you want to work off first of the maxed out car shift pattern. You can find that all over YouTube. Zoocar, Adreno A88, and many others do shift patterns. Once you have that, you need to test that shift pattern and kind of adjust it based on the upgrade level of your car, because if it's not fully upgraded, it may not be the same, and therefore you may not get the needed amount of speed or needed amount of time. So adjust the shift pattern based on your upgrades. Don't assume max shift pattern is the pattern to use for everything. As the car gets upgraded, things change. Okay, so here we go. Epic intake part, not very useful, I'll be honest with you, but every epic part is useful in some degree, because you always want your car fully fusioned. Okay, here we go. I'll try to get that third relatively quickly. Since I'm using the mouse to do it, it's a little bit slower. If I use the keyboard to do it, it'll be a little quicker. And if you're on phones, what happens is iOS phones can jump to third instantly, whereas Android phones, depending on how old the phone is, which phone you have, may struggle to get that instant third, and that will affect the time you run. So unfortunately, and this is why a lot of the iOS guys swear by their phones, whereas a lot of Android guys have a lot of frustration playing this game. And that's why, because the phone optimization is really for the iOS phone, not so much for Android. I'm on a Android emulator, so it's a little different. But again, I can do it pretty quick, even with the mouse. But you know, the keyboard usually can do it just a little better. Okay, so as I'm talking, we're kind of breezing through these races up to race 25. Notice 25, 10.5. Your car will run 9.4, 9.5 with full fusions at stage 5. So getting to this point should not be that difficult. Okay, now getting past race 28, it's going to be the question: can we do that with a 9.5 run? And then if we do, then the question is, which stage 6 do you get? So again, with body, as you can see, I'm just having a really easy time of this. And this is why getting the right stage 6 is really huge in this game. And that's a luck factor, and I hate it, because if you're not lucky and you get intake or nitrous, you're going to be looking at burning up a ton of keys. And nobody wants to burn up their keys because it's hard to come by, right? You want to save that for big events like the Evo Cups, like some of the Fast and Furious stuff, where you're definitely going to need to burn some keys. So Prestige Cup is one of those optional races. If you really can't make it, don't worry about it. You could probably make the same points in live just by putting a little extra effort in there. You know, it's nice to always finish these because it's easy 300k points, but again, it's not a must-do. In some seasons, if I find the Prestige Cup car to be extremely difficult to build and really obnoxious on resources, I just skip them, because you know, I can make my crew minimum without Prestige Cup. It's just, it's always nice to have the extra points, but it's not needed. And that's something you really have to keep in mind as a newer player. Not every PC Cup needs to be done. Not every PC car is any good. So sometimes it's better to just not build it. Let it go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Lexus LFA. This is race 27, I believe. So let's see what this one runs. And then race 28 usually is like a speed trap or something. It's not always a heads-up race. That looks like a 9.6, 9.7 out of the opponent. Oh, wow, 10. Okay, so even better. That's pretty slow. And we're up to race 28 coming up, and that's going to give us stage 6. Let's see what I get. Now, assuming, I mean, I have all the stage 6s for this car, so I'm not stressing about it. But assuming you don't, this is a critical race, right? You want to get the right stage 6. So let's see what happens here. What do I get? All right, let's first win it. So this one's a race, not a speed trap or anything. That's fine. Opponent doesn't seem to be going very fast. That might be a 9.9, 9.8. Okay, 9.898, right around 9.9. So not hard to get with a stage 5 car if you have enough fusions. And I got tire. Now, mind you, tire isn't that bad. It's actually one of the top 3 stage 6s. However, just with tire, I may not make this. I know with body I can finish without having to go back and add and switch and fine tune, but just with tire is going to be cutting it close. Although tire may do it, because I believe you can still get 9.1 something runs out of tire with the proper shift pattern, and that may be what you need to finish the event. Okay, so race 29 should escalate quite a bit. So race 28 was 9.8, race 29, against Max, of course, is 9.5. That means race 30 definitely is going to be 9.2 and lower, I would say, because that was a 3/10 jump, little over 3/10 jump. If it does another 3/10 plus jump, 410s, for example, then we're looking at low 9.1s and possibly 9.0s. That's why it's saying it's extreme. Okay, before we run that final race, now that I'm thinking about it, let's go back and put tire on, and let's take a look if tire would have made this or not. Okay, I think it's going to be really tight at best, but I'm going to go ahead and throw tire on instead of body, and let's see what it shows me, because I remember tire is quite a good stage 6. It's just not as good as body, but it's not completely useless either. See, it still adds a decent amount, but it's not going to have the same aggressive drop in time as body does. So let's see where it puts us first. 9.289. So now shift pattern again. You can beat. Oh, I was at 9.42, but anyway, 2.42, 2.44, 2.42. Pretty close to where you need to be. Okay, 2.41, 2.40. We'll do 2.40. Okay, and this doesn't really help. It just you kind of want to have 53.47. All right, let's go run this. I may be able to finish it just with tire. But again, this is full fusion. If you're missing epic fusions, you're going to lose 10, 20 to 30 Evo a shot. That's like a few hundreds in time at a time. So that could really hurt you and make it nearly impossible to beat it. But let's go ahead and do this. Okay, I don't think the shift pattern is going to change. I am still going to do instant third and nitrous, and just to see where the car comes down to. Okay, here we go. All right. Now, jumping ahead doesn't guarantee anything, but it does help, because this is where you see the opponent kind of pull right back and run past you. Let's see what I ran first. 9.182, 9.140. So this is what I'm saying. You can get about a tenth off of your time. But the opponent could be quicker. One option, before I go back to body, is to simply leave, come back, and see if I can get a different opponent that's slightly slower. You may or may not get that. You may actually get a slightly faster opponent in some cases. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so, whoops. Okay, here we go. Let's hope we got a slower opponent this time and see what happens. Okay, Ford Mustang. Doesn't mean it's going to be slower. It's just Ford Mustang. Okay. Assuming I'm doing everything as perfectly as I can, the real question is, how quickly does he catch me? Ah, no, he didn't. Okay, got it. And I ran worse this time, but 9.215 is on the slower side, and therefore tire only got me my 180K. And that is the end of that PC Cup. Nice and easy. Blew right through it. And we are now 180K up. Actually 300K up if you count all the other points. And I'm sitting pretty with my points in my crew. Not in the top garage level, but hey, certainly not slacking either. So that is your PC Cup for this season with just tire stage 6. Again, you can also do it just with body for sure, and possibly even just with trans, which I'll just give you a dyno on it at least before we log off. Now, if you have any questions about all these specific stage 6 effects, that video is already up. Look for my stage 6 effects video on this car. And then following this, what is in the future for this car? Is it useful beyond PC Cup? Well, the short answer to that is maybe. This is going to be tough. This will run 9.2, which means if you don't get Claire and the Mustang, you won't be winning PC Cup. But again, it's doable. It's not completely undoable. So it's very close to tire, and therefore it's still possible to finish just with trans. Okay. All right, and that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoy that, and it showcased some things that'll be helpful to you. Let me know what you think. Feel free to comment in my video comment section. If you liked the video, leave a like, share it with friends. Let them know that the channel's up and running and that I'm back in CSR2. If you like my channels, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll get notifications when I put up new videos. As always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.